hey, I take the credit or blame, however you want to put it, on starting the liposome bandwagon 15 years ago, because nobody was talking about it until Live On got together with me. I gave a few lectures about it. I related the story that I have, and I've seen my story in different forms everywhere on the web. So they just picked that up, you know, comparing liposome to IV. And because of that, what does our capitalistic society do? They want to make money. They see that Live On Labs is skyrocketing because regardless of my role in Live On, most people feel so much better in general when they start taking just a few grams of liposome encapsulated vitamin C a day, that I don't know what the exact percentages are, but Live On has one of the highest reorder percentages of any supplement in the industry. I mean, lots of people.
You can get it here there was a time last year when, or it might have been earlier this year, when it was out of stock anyway, and I couldn't get hold of any. And then when it was back in stock, I was like, quick, order some more.
And the point too is most people, most supplements, everybody's trying something all the time. They'll try one bottle of this and never order another bottle. I mean, probably most supplements, I would estimate, are below 15% reorder. Okay, people try out one bottle, they're through. Well, that's not the case here. So it propagates itself.
Yeah.
The entrepreneurs saw this, the fraudulent entrepreneur saw this, and now there's a plethora flooding of quote unquote liposomal products out there. We initially tested a lot of them and they had no liposomes, and it just got fatiguing and expensive testing them all. And it was very clear that most people are just happy to make a large amount of money until they get called down. And when they get called down, they say, oops, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll stop. But I'm not saying there's no legitimate liposome preparations out there besides Ultrian and Live On, but there's none that I'm confident with. Okay. See, the other side of the other problem is testing them to do a legitimate test costs $7,000 or $8,000.
Wow.
Okay, so it's just not something you just throw the money aside, and then if you're doing it for your own satisfaction, the company's not going to stop making the product anyway. What's the point?
Yeah.
But and the homemade preparations are not liposomes. However, they form what's called an emulsion, which does allow the regular vitamin C to be absorbed more effectively than vitamin C that's not in this emulsion. But it's not encapsulated. So once it's inside the blood, it does not have the unique delivery capabilities that liposomes have to get inside the cell. So a lot of people that make quote unquote homemade liposomes, they feel better, they like it because vitamin C makes you feel better, okay? And they're getting a lot of vitamin C. But if they're a critically ill patient, an advanced infection patient, and they think they're getting the benefit of liposomes, but they're still going downhill, that's where the tragedy occurs because they're not using liposomes even though they think they are.
And are there many of these different companies that are making products that they're saying are liposomal and they're not? And how can the public know? I mean, unless, because they're not in the position to be able to test these things and to know.
No.
I mean, what can the public do?
That's why I'm saying if people want to go, well, buyer beware. Okay, yeah. I told you as clearly as I can that most of the products are fraudulent.
Yeah.
Whether they're intentionally fraudulent or negligently fraudulent, I can't differentiate for you. The other thing too is people say, you know, when you compare it to regular vitamin C, well, liposome, Live On and Ultrian, they're a little pricey. Well, let me tell you, they're pricier because it's an incredibly involved process.
Yeah,
not only to make a liposome, but to do the quality control. And Live On tests every batch for purity, liposome size, everything else. And so it comes out to more money than if you just throw something together in a bottle and call it a liposome.
Yeah, I guess you get what you pay for at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Well,
So
usually,
bottom line, you say, how are people to know? People are, if people want to trust me, get Altria or get Livo. Okay. I'm not saying 100% of other products are worthless or not worthless, are not liposomes, because if they have some vitamin C in the product, you're benefiting from that, like we said earlier. So,
yeah.
but if you want the unique benefit of the liposomes and you want to be sure that you're getting it, live on or Altria. Okay. Maybe it's available elsewhere, but I can't guarantee that.